So on this one I'm going to start doing some shorts. I've not been on camera for a while. I've got some footage on my camera, but I've just not managed to get it into production, if you want to call it that. So I'm in my glad rags. The sun has come out today. It's now about 1 o'clock on the 17th of May already. Wow, incredible. So I'm going to give you an update on my ponds, mash a video up for you, and then I thought about picking a topic and then doing a little series of videos on my view of them. Not me teaching you like always, but how I do it. And if you pick things up, you do. If you don't, or you want to critique it or whatever, we all learn, don't we? So that's what I'm going to be doing moving on, i.e. a 10-minute video maybe of koi behaviour, koi filtration, koi feeding, I don't know, koi appreciation. That's probably later on because of when they're going to get the fish out. So some good news, on the 30th I booked a day off. That's 2 weeks away. I've got my fish coming from Ricky Stoddart at Koi Wholesale. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting day. I'll capture some of that on video because it's quite stressful if you do anything like that. So that's coming up. So there might be a couple of videos coming out in short clusters. So I've got a bit of material on my camera which I've not opened up yet or mashed anything together. So look forward to that one. If you haven't already, please tap on that subscription icon in the bottom corner that I've got now, which is really helping my videos, I should say. So if you can see that little icon, wherever it is, please tap the subscription button if you haven't already. And at the end of the video, if you've liked it, please hit the like button. And if you put the thumbs down button if you haven't, because believe it or not, interaction is better than no interaction. And then drop some comments down below. So let's have an update in my greenhouse, because there has been not significant change, but a couple of weeks ago I wanted to dabble. You know what it's like, it's that time of year, we've got to dabble, and we've got to try and stop ourselves from dabbling too much and let fish settle, because hopefully a lot of the hard work, I say hard work, a lot of work has been done. Preparation, your filters, your moving beds. My God, this moving bed has worked wonders for me, I've got to say. So my moving bed and everything is absolutely mega. I'm hardly getting, I've not had no nitrite yet, and I'm getting a sniff of ammonia, not a lot. I tested this yesterday and it was a nice yellowy colour. A few tests before was a little bit of a tinge of green, but yeah, because let's just have an update on my systems as quick as I possibly can, because there's quite a lot to catch up on. As you can see my brushes, I've got a video, Eazypod Massacre from last year, and it's worked a treat and I'll still use it. But what happened was I started noticing more muck coming through. So as you can see, I had them in like that, and what happens is if you're not careful, you grab too much of the top of the brushes becomes flatter, lose the shape. So what I did, I actually in fact it was that side, look, they were the tops, can you see? That was the top, and look at them. And what I've done, what I did, I flipped them, so these bits I wind off, you twist them and they come off, and I put them from that end to this end, so it sort of rejuvenated my brushes, so I get another season out of them. You see, that's what it was like, that was the top. So what I found was water was escaping unfiltered through the top and getting through. But it's getting that time of year anyway, you're gonna get more muck because the system is producing more. We'll come on that in a minute, what's going into this pond. So yeah, so then put them in like that. Started working a treat again. I thought, great, fantastic. But there was collecting, you know, it's that high demand season. So I thought, right, something was bugging me. So as you know, you may well not know, well a lot of you won't know actually. See that? Look, a little peek in there. Little peek. What I've done, a couple of weekends ago, I strained the K Plus Media Look from the top and put it into the bottom. So now, at the minute, because I thought with the micro K1 that was in here, the 18 litres, I went into there, as you can see, look, see the smaller ones, that's the micro K1, that comes with the pod. So last year I took all that out, put it in there and turned that into a mechanical brush box, and it's worked a treat, because I went from cleaning the filter, cleaning it out, bubbling it every 2 days to 3 days, and unable to leave that to go on holiday, because what would happen is that would starve. This would be higher, that would be low, and that would actually be sucking water in right at the pipe. I even cut the pipe down a bit to help, as low as I could get it. But it got me thinking, obviously micro K1 is very small. If I get one out, if I get a couple out, see the difference? There's the micro and there's the K1. Look at the difference. So what I did, I took that out and put the brushes in, sorted. I could leave that with brushes for a week if I go on holiday, because that's what was bothering me, starving the pump, damaging my pump, burning out my pump, right? So a couple of weeks ago I thought, I wonder what a bigger media would do in there, and I get back to bubbling it again. So I thought, sod it, this is what I'm saying with the tinkering. Well, I couldn't help myself, I had to try it. So in there is about 20 litres of K+. Now the last time I cleaned this out was, I think I might have done it twice last week. So it's lasting a good amount of days, 5 to 7 days at the minute. So would it last 7-day holiday? I'm not sure. Nearly. I mean, yeah, this is going up to about a week now, and look at it. Loads of muck it's collecting on the outside, as you can see, doing its job. I've taken this out, guys, this sculpted layers mesh, because this was collecting daily. I mean, you can see it's not got no heavy particles coming through, but you put that in there, if I put that in there carefully, and at the end of this video we'll have a little look and see what it's like. But what I was finding is that will last in a day or so, because obviously the system now is producing a lot more particles. The fish are more active, they're swimming around more, the water temperature is 22 to 24 degrees, so they're eating more in the bits of algae on the wall, so there's more particles in the water, which means there's more fines that this simply won't collect. You can't see them, but even this mesh will collect them, which this won't. And then also this is doing that much of a fabulous job of turning it over. What I was finding is, obviously, that movement, that is to keep it self-cleaning. That's constantly self-cleaning. It's bubbling, so there's good air movement, but it's bubbling because it's clashing the media together, so there's no sediment or finer particles collecting loads of muck into your filter. That's why they work so well, the self-cleaning. But if they're constantly bubbling, you're going to get stuff returning back to your pond. So I'm going to get stuff going down back here. And what I was finding is with mesh filter, which has been working a treat, by the way, of stopping this getting through the foam because of the air movement. What I did about a week ago, I noticed that this was getting really algae. It was really collecting really quick, and it was filling up with water. Then the foam was overflowing. So what I did last weekend, I washed it in PP. It wouldn't work, still couldn't rejuvenate it. So what I did, put it in the washing machine, give it a good cleaning, bleach and all sorts of stuff, wash machined it at like 90 degrees, and then it was still clogging quite quick within a couple of days. So a few days ago I took it out, I put this on the pipe like that, and then literally it was like that. Because of the movement, literally within days and the crashing the water on the surface, I've gone from clear, I'm not kidding, literally from that and like that with no foam to literally 2 to 3 days of being like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you look at Ricky and Coy Wholesale, a lot of the ponds that's got loads of movement thrashing into it will have DOCs and foam on the pond. But it does bug me, because I just think that people misinterpret that and think that your system's poor and your water quality's poor. Well, it's not. It doesn't mean that. So, on that note, I've dried that out for a few days and it's gone really white, look, where I can see through it again. So, literally 15 minutes ago, I popped it back on just to see how long it will last. So, moral of the story is, I'm cleaning this about once a week now and it's working okay. I've got to admit, it's not a nuisance at the minute like the Micro K one was, but I've got to see how it goes. But when I go on holiday, what I will do, I will 100% take that out, because I'm going in the end of June, first week of July for a week. I've got someone coming in, but I don't want to leave people responsibilities, turning pumps off and stuff. So that'll come out. I think I'll take the K Plus out, bag it up. I'll take this off, take that off, put the K Plus in the bag, and then just hang the bag, clean it first, bubble it, then hang it in the water. So hopefully, if there is any beneficial bacteria on there that is eating up any ammonia and nitrite and stuff, it'll stay alive. And then when I come back, I'll put it in. But I see that as my mechanical filter. But with the Eazypods, that's all you've got. So it's mechanical and your biological. That's why I think with this, you often, if you really feed in a system like this, like I have, you'll find, like I did, it's not enough on its own. Nowhere near enough. You'll get nitrite issues all the time. You'll not be able to hammer the food. You'll really struggle. Well, now I've gone back to that. It's offering a bit of biological. That's give more movement, more space in there. So there's more for that to consume. And then, like I say, they'll come off, so it's really free to run for a week, so nothing should be starved. And I'll probably just turn the pump down a little bit anyway. So that's that. What do you reckon about that? Back on the bubbling. So yeah, the moving bed, that might be a 10-minute video one day if I can get it through that far. The koi in this one, guys, that I mentioned a couple of videos ago, the Sankey. This has had Praziquantel twice. It's finished the treatment a couple of weeks ago, but that koi is still quiet and I can't work it out. You can just see it down there. Yeah, it's just talking about koi behaviour, that is one thing I'll discuss on another video on one of my shorts. But that, you can see it's down there, so I'm really worried about that. I scraped it again last weekend and I was sat in that corner on my microscope for a good 15 minutes and I couldn't find a thing. I was fine tooth comb with 2 samples of mucus off it, nothing at all. So what I did, I dumped the system right down, 3/4 out of it, because it's had salt at 0.5 for about 3 weeks to a month. So I thought, right, get rid of that system. There's parasite free hopefully in there now, because I didn't see anything on the scrape. Get the water out, get some fresh water in. That's what I did. It's this kind of colour, because I noticed, I probably didn't need to do it, but I noticed I was getting some filaments of algae, string algae that were growing. So I thought, right, put a low dose in, so that's why it's like that. I did it a couple of days ago, so that's got to clear up with that stuff. Infusion of natural minerals, enzymes and additives. I love this stuff. This is actually the TAP, you can tell by the bottle, the tub, everything, the instructions are the same as the TAP version that I normally use. So that's in there. Yeah, so I don't know about that fish. I've just got to monitor it now, but I thought, right, get the salt out now. The one with dropsy looks like it's cured after the 3 weeks. Its pine cones, skin, scales have gone right down to normal. Feeding great, done the trick, fantastic. So I'm going to be taking a couple of fish out of that in the main pond, and before the 30th, when my new fish come, I'm going to take them out of the pond as well. So there's a few of these coming out into my main pond. So that already, now I've took that off, so it's not splashing anymore, it was already reducing. You can almost see the difference, guys, on the video in the time that I've been recording this. The 14-15 minutes worth. You can see reducing. and it's amazing how much that collects out of it. Because what's happening is, I reckon with a moving bed, they obviously come straight back into the pond. So any really fine particles that the system's not collecting, because this media in here is really quite clean, it's not collecting in here, so it's passing through the Kintama gold, coming through this, but it's not fine enough to get through this, so it collects. But worst case is, if you haven't got that, you're going to get DOCs on the surface like this, and any finer particles are going to collect in the water and get collected by the filter again, and then more and more this gets thicker and clogs up, it's going to collect more in your mechanical filter. So let's end this waffling this week on these koi. What is going off? Right, feeding. These now are being fed 6 in the morning, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. The first feed, last feed, double feed. So what that is working out to is 2 of these, and that's about between 1.5 and 2 kilo a week going into this pond. Yes, 1.5, 2 kilograms. I know it's not a lot, but there's not massive fish in here, but they're doing well. Now what I'm going to start incorporating, and you might want to try this, so I'm up to, I didn't get to this point with these fish or this pond till about July last year on Sakiakari, and I struggled. I've got to be honest with you. If you look at my previous video, you'll see, you flip back a year, well in July, you'll see I started having problems with nitrite, a little bit of ammonia, and the behaviour of these fish was a lot different to what you're seeing now. And I'll show you. Look, they're coming up to me. Look at the difference. You'll see it. They're coming up, they're interested, and that's on being fed from 6 till 12. I know it's not a massive amount of feed, but so I'm up in it. So what I'll do is in the middle of the day that'll go to 2 feeds, then the start of the day will go up to 3 portions, and then the last food will maybe 3 portions, and then they're getting them from 12 at night till 6 in the morning. That's 6 hours. They're getting no food. Then what I'm going to start doing is, once that batch of food is done with, once that hopper of 2 scoops of this is done with, about 1.8 kilo I think it works out to, depends, that's like 700, that's 700 mil, look, so assuming it's not going to be weight to weight, but I reckon 2 of these is 2 kilo, because it's sinking, it's heavier, and that's being used up over about a week. Look, so there's the hopper, there's my little thing I've got in there, look, that I made. There's a reducer, because there's no reducer with this. I got it second hand, so I made one out of the bottom of a pot, look. So that actually just goes over like that underneath there, look, and it's a reducer. I've created my own food reducer, and I think it works out about per feed, it actually halved what it distributed. So instead of it being something like between 15 and 20 gram, it actually works out about 7 to 9 gram per food delivery. So there you go. So what I'm doing is, once that's run out over a week, so it's been a week now, that food's gone into this pond, the food of the fish have had it, the system's consumed it. It's going to be due, it's now Saturday the 17th, tomorrow or today this might get a clean out, a bubble in and a clean out, filled back up. I put my RO on in preparation because the water will drop, and they're going to go without, so that there was no food in there last night when I came in. When it was about 6 o'clock I came in, that hopper was about empty. So they've not been fed now since probably about 6 last night, and it's now 10 to 2, so it's coming up to 12 hours of no food. So what I'll do, I'm going to mess about today, do a bit, and then I'm giving them like a period of 12 to 24 hours without any food, just so the system can just catch up a bit, have a bit of a breather, they can have a bit of a breather, and then when they get food again they're going to be back on it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to try leaving it for, like I say, 12 to 24 hours. So it's so let me, so if we come to this, sometimes I'll come in and give them a bit, but we'll conclude this video on a bit of koi behaviour. Like I say, this is the only food that they've had since about 3 o'clock yesterday, Friday, and it's coming up to 10 to on the Saturday. So we're coming up to 24 hours. So once I've done messing about in here this afternoon, doing a bit of maintenance and stuff and a bit of enjoying them, I'm going to fill that hopper up and then they're back on the food. So let's just see what, oh, I'll tell you what, before I do this, in fact no, I'm going to leave it for another video. I'm going to do a Nutrimare Sync update video, and we'll leave that so I can conclude this one and drop it on one of them shorts so you can get some interest on that. But there's a Nutrimare. This is going to be the first food in 24 hours, and let's see how they respond. Here we go. Koi behaviour, if you like. I think the behaviour in these is just so much better, look. So with the amount of food they're getting, look at how keen and eager they are. For the yellow on that. There is a little tinge to the water. There's a golden corn, look, Taniguchi, love that yellow one. That's a Taniguchi golden corn as well underneath. Look at them, absolutely pumping it. Woohoo! Love it. So I can't wait to get them new fish in here on the 30th. Buzzing. Really looking forward to see the NND Shiro at Surrey's. Then the Shinoda High at Surrey's coming. I've got a Tamasaba coming with its head spot, and it's one of them turmeric ones with the glittery scales on the side. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, great time of year. I'm on holiday for the is it the National at Coventry. I usually go to that every year, but I'm on holiday this year. So yeah, koi are absolutely doing absolutely mint. I'm over the moon for it with them. You can see the behaviour is really good. Like I say, check on my other videos from last year. You'll see that behaviour. There was sort of hiding a bit more, but I've really got them settled. So in a way, I'm a bit reluctant to get my net in and get some of them out, but I've got to make space for my new ones to get a bit of a balance, and yeah, then leave them. So on that note, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button on that bottom corner if you haven't already. Please hit it. It's really been nice to have you on board as a subscriber, following the channel, following these the progression of these. Thanks for watching. Oops, one more pellet. See you on the next one.